Senator, what is your takeaway from the Fed Chair's remarks?
Well, first of all, she has so much respect, and I think you heard a lot of good words about her really from both sides of the aisle. She has been a steady hand. You think about when she served as vice chair and then chair, where economy was, where economy is now. And I think you see nothing but respect. And I've always enjoyed her personally. As a woman, to see a leader like that running the Federal Reserve was on its own an achievement. But the fact that she had so much respect during the entire time and really had trust really helped our economy.
One of the big takeaways, at least from my reporting in there, was Senator Bob Corker asking about the impact of the proposed Republican tax plan on the markets. Fed Chair Yellen said that she is, quote unquote, very worried about the U.S. debt trajectory. Your question, Senator, focused on infrastructure as a means of economic stimulus, not just on roads and bridges, but also on broadband. What was your takeaway from that, as well as the answer to your question?
Right. Well, I thought, of course, she did a great job explaining why infrastructure is so important for economy. If you're going to be an export economy, you got to have a way to get goods to market. But beyond that, my bigger point was we're looking at a bill that has this extraordinary added debt, $1.5 trillion, which is Senator Corker's point here, $1.5 trillion, and we're not even getting any infrastructure investment out of it. The original plan that was discussed over the last few years was to create an incentive to bring some of the money in from overseas, yes, but then tied to it would be some investment in infrastructure. So you set a rate, inducement to get some money back, and then a certain percentage of it would go into infrastructure. Everyone would know that out from the front. We don't get any of that benefit. We get this big debt, and then it also, of course, is not good for the middle class in terms of where you look at where the bulk of the help is going, and that is to the wealthiest.
Just one final question. I know you're busy. We appreciate your time, Senator. But let me ask you about what a lot of CEOs are saying today, making the rounds, Bloomberg reporting this as well, which is they wouldn't necessarily see the tax cuts go back to the middle class, that it would go to shareholders. When you look and evaluate this proposal in the Senate that is likely going to come up tomorrow for a vote, what do you make of this discussion about the tax plan and who is actually going to benefit from it?
Well, that is the core of this thing. Really, a tax plan is the values of a government. It's the values of where you put people. And to me, when you look at income disparity and how hard it is for the middle class to afford things, that should have been our focus. Now, I have 18 Fortune 500 companies. I was one of the people who wanted to see the corporate rate go down, and I wanted to bring the money back from overseas and create incentives. But there was ways you could have done that with much more help for the middle class. Maybe not quite as big a break for the companies, but some break for them. And instead, this thing has gone to the extreme.